Goal-based customer journey orchestration for banking, relevant real-time customer engagement to increase revenue. So yeah, definitely a mouthful, but rest assured, by the end of this presentation, you'll understand every single bit of it. And if not, I'm right over at the next booth, so you can come and we can have a long chat about details as well. So let's begin. Cool. No introductions required here. This is actually something that I picked up from a LinkedIn article. Yeah, LinkedIn article some time ago, which carries a really simple but very strong message. How so? Because I'll explain it in a bit. But the thing is, we need to start thinking about this journey pattern. So this is a good starting point, and it's definitely a good starter for a meeting like this. So these two individuals, obviously, no introductions required. One's a rapper, one's a comedian. Surprisingly, they have something in common, at least few of them. Born in 69, lives in the USA, married once. I think that's a big bonus for celebrities nowadays. Both has kids. They're on social platform and they're famous. So at a glance, or at least at a paper level, you'd assume like, okay, these guys in marketing context we call the segments or the personas or any attributes that are common to be shared, are in the same bucket, right? But the thing is, marketers nowadays, the silver bullet or the silver or the holy grail that they are looking for is how to market to these two individuals, though they fall into the same segment, yet they have so many differences, whether it's, values, interests, goals, fears, would they end up buying the same product? You never know. But the thing is, this is where I think most of our challenges start, and this is where the search for excellency in terms of marketing that marketers look for. I hope that I'm slowly getting into the point and you guys are getting the understanding of it. Probably this one might give more, help to understand. Again, to different individuals, right? If you take it at individual level, but at paper level or at segment level, they have a lot of similarities, right? So let's start by looking at some of what we are doing at the moment, the current marketing ecosystem in most organizations, especially in the banking industry. So I mean, like we are talking about from legacy systems to 2022. Any organization by now would have gone through so much of integrations, updates, change management, so much of changes going on. From layering over marketing automation, trying to figure out we need a proper marketing stack. So we're starting with marketing automation, then it's content management system, then they are talking about DMPs, CDPs, and the entire alphabet you'll start seeing, right? The thing is, this is all driven because of customers want to, or your organizations or the banking industry wants to start shifting to a new direction, right? So the next challenge the most organizations are now faced is with the data challenge. All these platforms, I saw this research that there's about 4,000 martech platforms out there at the moment. At minimum, you would see an organization would have at least 17 of them. So imagine the amount of data has been collected. That may be batch level or at real time, behavioral, and so much so. So what do organizations then do? They bring in expertise, more expertise bringing in, more capabilities brought in. Things like data science teams creating models, creating AI, ML capabilities to make sense of this data and trying to create those single customer view for understanding customers more clearly. So again, the shift here or the pattern here is organizations are now moving from product centric or to channel specific to more customer centric engagement, and they want to make it more relevant. And for example, the DBS Bank here, they're moving from understanding and trying to help organizations or try to help customers to achieve what they're trying to achieve, right? That's why in the bank web portal you'll see a marketplace, because obviously people need money to buy stuff, right? So it makes sense to bring in the e-commerce or the marketing space or the market space also into the banking area, so that you are helping the customer to achieve what they want. Next, I would call this a channel race, because with the pandemic, we've seen a big shift from customers, because obviously people didn't have the luxury to, move about and, visit stores and visit branches and, do get on with their day, right? They were more reliant on the digital channels. There was an influx of, digital channels being visited, the customers trying to do everything online, looking at, touchless methods. So the thing is, there's so much of investment gone into all these digital channels. You take the banking app, for example. I'm sure everyone has a mobile here and everyone has their banking app on there, right? Back in the day, it was just a simple book, right? With, what's the account balance there is. But with your banking app nowadays, you pretty much have almost everything, right? From your, daily transactions, due dates, your net worth, if you have stock options, the full 9 yards, right? But I mean, that's all good. That's excellent, right? But that's only specific to one channel, right? I mean, I've been banking. Obviously, I've been banking for some time, but I've never got these insights on a email or a PDF. I've never got this as a direct mail coming into me as a hard copy, showing me this is my report. Because thing is, we have to be mindful about what about people who does not have a smartphone, right? What's the point in having a fully flashy app if it's not for everyone? So we need to consider these things. Who are our customers, right? So I think yesterday's session there was a really good question, because there one of the questions was, how do we market when our data or the networks charge you a thumping amount for internet, right? Uh, how then what is the barrier? How do we reach out to these folks? Because internet is so expensive in our country, right? So this is why I call the race for channel. Organizations have automatically become siloed within their own business. Their only focus is one channel, and they're trying to reach or trying to race against each channel to achieve some goal that they've been set up for. Yeah, so this kind of leads to what do we call the paperboard dream. I'm sure everyone here, when we were small, you did paperboards, and when it's raining, we go and put a boat into the gutter to see how far it goes, and that's about it, right? There's no post comparison. There's no analysis. There is no correlations between the channels or working together, and that's just sailing away, and finally hoping there'll be some connection and there'll be some conversion along the line. So I hope you guys are still with me on this topic. Yeah. So again, the channels are key contributor for business development. Even the previous discussion, we saw how important and how the channels are being used, and to what extent it's been thought about in terms of delivery or having that correct mix. But the thing is, nowadays everything is such a chaos, right? Everything is crisscrossing everywhere. You have absolutely no idea what's happening. You don't know sometimes what your left hand is doing with the right hand. That is the situation right now, because every engagement is siloed. So I'll bring in another industry here apart from banking. Any gamers in the audience? Gamers? Anyone who has played a game at all? Yeah. So you guys might know this. There was a game back in 1993 called Doom, right? Yeah. So this game was quite popular. 30 years later, I think 20 odd releases, some 10 billion, revenue and all that. It's considered one of the best games being built, right? Because it was built on single foundation. It's called the flow. In gaming industry, they call it the flow. So let's look at what this flow means. So the definition given by the psychologists are that mental state in which a person performing an activity in full immerse in a feeling of energized focus, full involvement and enjoyment of the process of activity. Can anybody here tell me that this was the same experience when you did a purchase or did any shopping or any of that? No. But the thing is this is a gaming principle, right? So obviously you want the person or the person who's playing your game to immerse himself or herself in the game and move forward and engage. So in marketing, what is the flow? What is the flow? I think this was again mentioned in the previous presentation. So it's the right message, definitely the right message, right? Right? Right message, right time, right person, right? Because remember the segment slide earlier, it's the right person and on the right channel. So this is the mix. This is the mix. So this is the flow that we need to work out, and we need to work out with the right channel as well. And then you have the rule of the seven. Anyone here have heard about the rule of the seven before? No? So this, again, the rule of the seven, what it says, or what it, the outline is, for any individual to start or have any sort of interest in a product or a service, you have to at least see or, heard about a product at least 7 times. So this was not coined out, by just marketers. This is a very old rule which was built back in 1930s, where TV and movie industry was booming, where you have the ad agencies struggling to fighting to get the advertisement spots on the TV, and the simplest logic that they wanted to understand was, how many advertisements do I need to push out? How many advertisements should I show before a customer, when he walks in the aisles of the supermarket, will pick up my cereal box, right? So the result was number 7. So then, if it's number 7, if we are after 7 impressions, how do we do in a siloed channel engagement? If you have, say, the digital side, the social platform, can you push out 7 impressions to customers on a single product? If you take the email channel, can you do the same? Can you keep on sending the same email over and over again so that the customer sees it for 7 times? Can you make or force the customer to listen to the radio or the jingle that you have placed? So think about it, right? So we would at least need 3 channels working in harmony, delivering this message across to the customer at least 7 times. Then only it will start registering in the customer's mind and will have more recalling power as well. So let's put this into omnichannel journey to see how this would work. So a simple example, customer starts at a website, comes to our website, navigates through, goes to, say, credit card section. That's it. That's the first impression. Now the thing is this: from the back, we now against the customer, whatever that we know about this customer, we have additional information. That additional information is the customer is now looking at credit cards. This is new information. How do we proceed from this point onwards? Because obviously we need to now show him as many details about credit cards going forward, right? So whenever the customer revisits, instead of showing a vanilla website, shouldn't we show something personalized? So maximizing that web channel, right? Giving more personalized engagement and repeating the engagement. I mean, it doesn't need to be the same advertisement, but it at least guiding the customer, providing additional information about the product. Then you have the email channel. You can do wonders with that, right? You can start the customer on a drip campaign immediately. What is a drip campaign? You keep on sending out information and telling the customer what the product or what features, what benefits, what's so good about the product. Little by little, you are again providing more information. If the customer is not active on email channel, what do? Do you end the story there? No, we can continue. There are other channels that are customer engaging. The primitive form is the SMS. You send a link or send information a text form sending, customer. If the customer's on the app, same story. So as you can see, I can go one by one, but I'm sure you guys are getting the drift of it. What we can do is we are tying up each channel, checking always what the customer is doing, which channel he's more engaged on, whether it's social or web or app, or even the fact the customer keeps on calling on your call center, right? So the personalization can continue from there. So then let's look at the basic ingredients of or the very basic foundation for a customer journey. So we spoke about this very earlier because we wanted to do right message, right time, right person at the right channel. But then again, we need to think a bit deeper. So who are we targeting? Who are we engaging? We are engaging with an individual. This individual might be Gen X, Y, millennials, anyone, right? Because that's your if I'm talking about the industry, that's open for everyone, right? So we have to be exactly ready and have something ready for them. Remember the gaming story, the flow. Where is the flow for Gen X? Where is the flow for millennials? Right? We have to be ready. When the customer is ready, he will proceed. Similar to the game. If the customer is ready to move forward with the game, we should be ready as well. And with what? We need the correct offer. We need the correct message. If you are not ready with that, what's the point? Right? Just before traveling to Singapore for this presentation, my contract with my mobile partner was about to end, so I had to call them up and to do a recontract. When I called the call center, there I said, I've been enjoying these sort of discounts because I've been with you guys for 6 years. Is this discount going to continue? What are my benefits? What have you? What's my latest deal? What's my best offer here? Because I've been on the call for almost 15 minutes trying to get reached out to you. I'm obviously expecting some results. So the agent, little that she knew that she did not have absolutely nothing. She's referring me to the stuff which are on the website, saying, okay, we got plan A, B, C. I was like, what? I could have, easily gone and got this information on the website. I don't have to call you. I'm calling to see what is my best offer. So what is the correct or the customer always wants, right? It doesn't matter what's on your website. It doesn't matter what's on the the newspaper or any other blog article or whatever, or whatever your friends tell you about. What you require is some sort of personalization done of offer that is relevant for you. And the same expectation for me when it came to my recontract. And then when, if I take the same example, I needed an answer from that lady then and there through the channel of the call center. Not via another email coming down to 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, not through my app. I wanted done using, at the correct time. And where? Again, same channel. So similarly, the moment the customer is moving towards the channel and showing us interest, this is where we need to strike, or this is where we need to engage with the customer with the correct offer. Let's look at an example here. So Santander's bank is a North American bank. Sorry. So they've recently bought the Unica product suite, and they've embarked on a new journey, or they started to rethink or re-engage the entire marketing stack and trying to look at more customer-centric, helping customer journeys to achieve brands and other KPI goals. This is a quick example. So this is the journey that they created. Simple enough. Any bank, they would do social media advertisement. They did the same thing as well. So in this case, the use case is around the small business business owners, and they're trying to promote a credit card for these small business owners. So they posted something on the social platform. Customer sees this, clicks on the link, lands on their website, looks at the credit card, then quickly shifts and does something more. They're looking at how to improve their businesses. They are doing searches to see how business planning could be done. So additionally to the click that the customer made on the social banner, there are two additional information that we receive, right? I mean, in convention, like back in the day, we would essentially what we would do is, okay, great, our online campaign is a success. We had so many clicks, wonderful. We will do a campaign analysis, try to tie up and see, how many customers have bought this credit card, and give some stats, and that's it, right? But now we can do a bit more than that, because the thing is we are analyzing it much more deeper, because customer has given us additional information apart from just a click. The customer has gone in, shown some interest in certain articles, right? So here, the Sentinel Bank, what they did was they created two branches. They created two journeys for these customers, enabling the customer to work through, again, the flow, work through the way of understanding and maybe converting into, more products or getting more information. On the part where the customer is searching for business planning, we created a journey where the customer is being pushed with information, additional information. Okay, we recognize that you are looking for this information. Here's another article. Here's more details about how you can improve your business. So, but this is again at a fraction of a second, we decide which channel is best for the customer to engage with, and we keep on talking about it. And to the extent where we are able to connect the customer with a regional manager or a branch manager or an account manager, so that the customer will engage at one point and get more information if they want. On the other side, we want, obviously, the customer has clicked on the credit card, so there's some interest shown. So we need to create a journey helping the customer get more information out of it. So forget about this use case. So if I'm a small business owner, if I'm doing all this online, I'm looking at a credit card. I want to see how my business expands, right? I've been getting all this information about the credit card and all that. The final option is, okay, I'll go see the branch manager. He might help me out. When the branch managers start talking about, yeah, Mr. Soshala, you can do all this, and plus there's a credit card. Yeah, I know about the credit card, right? That's what you are looking for. That's the level of impressions, the rule of 7 that you are looking for, right? So this is an example. This is another example. This is more around the overseas travel benefit journey. So obviously, again, in the banking industry, there's so much of insight that you can capture, because obviously you have access to customer interest, to where's customer been last night, to kind of a thing, right? Because based on the purchase behavior, you can understand this. But on a real time, what can we do, right? So say a customer purchase tickets to travel, right? In real time, you get the transaction, you can identify the merchant code or any other identification. You'll understand, okay, the customer is ready to travel. Obviously, he has bought tickets. He might be traveling. Second scenario, maybe the customer is at the airport, buys coffee or pays for some fancy liquor at the duty free, right? That's a good indication to say that the customer is traveling, right? Now these are behaviors that the customer has generated, and it's our duty or it's our responsibility to capture this, because obviously, if you are ignorant, or if you are really not listening on them, obviously it's going to go ignored. But in this case, we started listening on these events, because now the customer clearly has, or at least showing us interest towards traveling. The first question that we want to do is not to push him with travel insurance, because that's a product we have. Obviously, okay, buy travel insurance, yeah, because you're about to travel. No, that's not the case. Because we are a bank, we want to ensure the customer is at ease, because he's about to travel. Has he got everything sorted, right? So we can engage or understand the customer's credit status, because this is it's our bank. We understand, right? Does he have enough money to go overseas? Does he have enough security in terms of, operating in another country. Would the credit card work there? So we can first engage with the customer and understand, do you have intent to travel, right? If the customer is on the app, it's just a yes or no, right? Because we can see a latest transaction that you are, planning to travel. You want to do? Are you about to travel? So once you have that confirmation, then you can push all these other information based on the customer's, more active channel. Whether it's about, if the customer doesn't have a travel insurance, we can push the travel insurance part, create a journey connecting the customer to, even to the extent back, connecting a real-time call center agent to say, okay, if you're traveling, if you're looking for a quick travel insurance, let us call you back, right? So there's a lot you can do in terms of, reconnecting from the travel side of things, and from a compliance side of things, we can do some due diligence for the customer and say, okay, you are running a bit low on your credit, right? How about a quick top up before you leave, right? So forget about all this. Think about yourself. If you are traveling, if somebody is doing the checklist for you, wouldn't you love it, right? Or else it's going to be on your notepad. You have written down, okay, I need to top up my credit card. I need to get my this thing, right? So this is what the flow is about. We are helping the customer to achieve what the customer wants to do. So let's talk about benefits. So obviously this has to translate for benefits, right? So when it comes to journey creation, the first thing that you can do is set your goals. Any organization would have their sales targets, things like that. So many KPIs. Similarly, in the journey also, you can set your goals right in advance. And the beauty of it is, it's not set and forget. You can adjust along the way. If you want to expand the journey, if you want to branch out, if you want to, join one journey to another, you can do all that. And at the same time, you are ensuring your final goal or the KPI is achieved. And then the benefit is you're basically shortening the customer conversion cycle, because this is all automated. If the customer is moving forward, who's ready? The bank is ready, right? The customer does not need to reinvent the wheel every time he or she is doing any banking. I'll give another example. Say, if you call up a friend or a mate and say, okay, I'm planning to buy a car. Where did you get your car loan from? I'm sure you guys would have got a similar sort of answers, or have heard the similar sort of answers. The recommendation would be, okay, I went. These guys are a bit expensive, but they're just fabulous. You're in and out, 10 minutes done. There's this other company. It's a headache, but you get a decent rate. But you need to figure out what to do, and the documentation is just horrendous. You know, this is the recommendation that you're getting, right? So you need to convert or shorten the customer conversation so that you are leaving with better, outcome. And then the increase in brand loyalty. I love this image. It strengthens the brand with relevancy, because you're automating and you're just talking relevant. You're not sending out an email in the morning talking about credit card and then publishing or putting a web advertisement about home loans, and then on your app talking about something else, right? You're talking the same language. So you are giving the feeling to the customer, yes, my bank understands me. He knows me, right? Because the thing is, now, if we go back to our second slide, we talked about a lot about data, right? With data, there's data science team coming in, AI models, machine learning, so much of stuff happening. And all of a sudden, against Soshala, say if I only have a savings account, so the data science models, the AI models would recommend and say, yeah, the next product for him is a credit card. That's it, right? Number one priority, credit card. Sell him credit card, right? But if I'm on the website looking at car loan, vehicle loan, right? What's the point in pushing me a credit card, right? So it has to be relevant. So this is the feeling that we need, or at least the flow that we need to work on to give the customer that brand presence. There's so much that we're looking for. Next one is amplified omnichannel engagement. So we have to be consistent across the omnichannel engagement, right? It's not a race. It's not who's gonna win. The web team is separate. Okay, digital team is separate. App team is separate. It's not a race. So it's an omnichannel engagement, and we have to deliver consistency so the customer understands you better. And then we have to always engage in the moment. If the customer is traveling, he needs help at that time, not when he returns from the trip, right? So the moment matters a lot because customer is moving forward. We should move forward with the correct information. And then finally, we are looking at lowering the marketing TCO or total cost for or ownership because we are automating things now. We are being smart about what we are doing. We are not just paying millions and doing digital marketing at blanket, thinking okay somebody will pick it up. Okay, we are doing email campaigns. We are doing road street promotions. It's not just doing things. We are doing it with a science now. We are doing it with a structure now. What's the point in placing my audience ID on Facebook on a different product, right? You can be more accurate, more pinpoint, because this is not cohort level. This is not segment level. This is at individual level. So you'll end up lowering so much of your marketing costs and budgets and engaging on a more accurate channel. Right. So HCL Unica. So we have a comprehensive marketing stack, and which I'll explain it in a bit. It's an open integrated platform. Why do we say open? It's premise agnostic. We can deploy it on-prem, cloud, on-prem or cloud. It's open framework where we can integrate with so many third-party martech, adtech platforms. It's a plug-and-play platform. Why do we call it the integrated platform? Because we've understood at the very beginning, because this is a product that's been in the market for 30 plus years, been one of the pioneers in the marketing automation space. It has all the capabilities the modern marketing team needs, right? From managing the resources, budgets, assets, content, right? Or organizing or creating journeys, orchestration. So it's a complete platform where you're not stuck in between, and trying to have one system trying to work and there's middleware and things like that. It has a unified data management capability where the engagement is centralized. So the common or the most challenging part in most platforms nowadays is they can only consume certain structured data. You have to design the data first for it to consume and then get some results. So this takes time. So then what you are losing essentially is the real-time capabilities, right? But in Unica, we don't have that problem. You can connect whether it's real-time data or batch data. Those capabilities are there. So you have the unified 360 view of your customer and engage in more real-time basis. To your left bottom, your right corner there, centralized decision management. So obviously, we are talking left brain, right brain situation, right? We have the brains to manage this because we can create the triage of decision making for the for the customer, because this is not just looking at one single entity, right? We are looking at what we know already about the customer. We consider that's as a profile of the customer. This is a cohort that we develop. And next, the behavioral data that comes in maybe on real time, that can be considered into the decision making. Organizations are very strong in terms of their data science teams, AI, ML capabilities. They bring in insights and deliver analytics capability. We can consider that as to the decision making as well. And then finally, looking at customers' contact history, engagement, past engagement, and similar customers or the similar part of the journey. What are the customers who have taken up? What are the uplift in terms of taking up these products? So all these goes or triage is made to make this decision. So it becomes a centralized tool. So imagine you have a tool connecting all the martech active pieces, does a centralized decision making, so that the customer is delivered with the correct message all the time. And then finally, in one single canvas, the Unica platform can design and deliver multi-wave, multi-channel journey orchestration. Let me repeat that: multi-wave, multi-channel journey orchestration in one single canvas. Whether it's your app, whether it's your digital channel, whether it's your email marketing, whether it's your CRM, all designed in one single canvas, and you can create those journeys for your customers. And this is the always on tool. Because of that, you basically don't have to worry about the speed of the engagement of the customer. The customer can decide the amount or the how fast or slow he wants to proceed with the journey. So this is a little bit more about the Unica product. But if you guys are more interested, please come and see us at the booth. So before I conclude, I want to leave with this quote with you guys. I'm sure this is nothing new. We would have heard or seen this many times. Focus on the journey, not the destination. Think about it. Think about it, because that's like yesterday, today we talked about so many martech capabilities, channel capabilities, data capabilities. But in the new age of things, think about how we can create those journeys for our customers, because it's not a destination, right? So think about it. Try to see how you can incorporate some of these into your businesses, or partner engagements or vendors, and see whether you can make some improvement. Because at the end of the day, the customers have to enjoy it. We need to enjoy it as well. So have fun with it. Some information about the Unica product is here. If you guys are interested, please have a look. If you're not, come and see me. I can give you a soft copy of this as well. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.